economic future and shared prosperity. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News Bulletin. I'm Jackie Wambiru. Here are the top stories this hour. The signing of a memorandum of understanding allowing medical students from Kenyatta University to access facilities the Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital has brought to an end a 6-year dispute between the two institutions owing to strained relations. Under the new agreement, KU medical students and teaching staff will now have full access to the hospital's facilities for training and practical learning. KU Vice Chancellor Professor Paul Wainana described the MOU as a milestone that will allow trainee doctors, medical lecturers from KU unfettered access to state-of-the-art facilities.
Our students are going to learn in an atmosphere that is conducive, where the equipments are there, where their professors actually have what it takes for them to produce the kind of medical staff that we needed.
We have already had 200 plus medical students who've accessed the hospital since 18th of August. We also have over 170 nursing students who've already started their rotations. We have others planned, so this is a continuous engagement.
In other news, experts are warning that weak coordination and poor use of early warning data are turning predictable climate disasters into full-blown humanitarian crises across the IGAD region. They say mounting climate shocks could fuel cross-border displacement unless governments move faster to translate climate data into early action. Our reporter Aaron Marie has the details.
Kenya.
Despite billions of shillings allocated annually for climate disaster preparedness and response across the IGAD region, experts say only 15% of the funds reach affected communities. Head of Disaster Risk Management at ICPAC, Dr. Hamid Abdihan, says member states must act on early warning information before disasters strike.
For example, if I start globally, what has been invested on climate and climate action is very much less of what is coming to the communities. Actually, about 10 to 15% of the climate fund is reaching the communities that really need them.
This, the one, exposes deep coordination and accountability gaps that are turning predictable climate shocks into humanitarian emergencies.
I think time that we translate the warnings that have been issued from our center, also from national Met services, to be translated into early action. For that, I think what IGAD is doing at the moment is we are co-developing with member states what we call an anticipatory action roadmap to make sure that our early warnings are translated into early action. Yeah, so that's, I think, a very important move. And this particular workshop is convened as part of IGAD efforts to try to work with member states and address the disaster, drought, floods and others head on.
Speaking at a regional disaster risk management expert meeting in Machakos, specialists noted that failure to deliver resource to the last mile is undermining early interventions, leaving vulnerable population exposed to droughts, floods and extreme weather events.
Rise in temperatures, landslides that recently we had this year in Mara Mountains of Sudan, also landslides in Kenya, flooding in South Sudan, other parts of the region, and these are causing a lot of disruption in livelihood and causing a lot of mobility. The IGAD Secretariat has designed this project Mobility in the Context of Disaster and Climate Change to address these challenges, and addressing these challenges in a way that it looks into institutional capacity of the IGAD Secretariat, as well as supporting member states to build capacity and integrate mobility-induced climate change into their national plans.
Experts further caution that delayed response is likely to increase climate-induced mobility across the IGAD region, with growing numbers of people forced to move in search of food, water and safety.
Nowadays, people are not only moving due to various reasons. Climate is one of the reasons that let people move across borders. And for them to have a safe and dignified way of moving, we need also to support them and provide the necessary, support for those who are moving due to climate. Not only those who are moving from conflict, and you find also the region is also a conflict-prone region. There are member states that are still experiencing conflict, like South Sudan and Somalia and Sudan currently, and Sudan has the worst humanitarian crisis in the region and across the world. And unfortunately, people move because of conflict, but then again, this conflict is also compounded by climate change, so it becomes a double burden.
From now on, they are urging a IGAD member state to shift from crisis response to anticipatory, data-driven disaster risk management, where early warning information triggers predefined actions and timely release of funds.
In terms of addressing these are complex issue and therefore requires complex solution, and for us to have that complex solution, we need your expertise. We need each and everyone to provide us what are the best practices, what is Kenya doing, what is Somalia doing, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Uganda, because the climate disasters in our countries are felt in different capacities depending on the systems, the resilience of our communities, the resilience of our systems, and the capacities and the resources in the different but also respective member government.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Aaron Marie.
Fear and panic has gripped locals of Migori County after suspected live explosives were discovered beneath River Kuja Bridge, a key transport link in the area. Security teams arrived and cordoned off the scene to prevent civilians from accessing it, as bomb disposal experts were deployed to assess and secure the situation. Authorities have launched a security operation to determine how the explosives were placed at the site and whether there is any imminent threat.
Ngambo ile kwa sababu kuna vitu zimetegwa hapo kwa daraja, hatuwezi tukapeta. Hatujafurahia kwa hiyo kitendo ambacho kimefanyika hapa, kwa kuwa tulikuwa tunangoja rais wetu atumie daraja kesho tukimwona akipita hapo, na kwa kuwa kuna vitu zimewekwa hapo hatujafurahia, kwa sababu hata mama wetu wenye wanafaa kwenda biashara ngambo au watu wa pikipiki ama magari wenye wanafaa kuendesha wakipita hapa hawajafanya kazi yao.
Hii daraja ni kidogo, na pia tunaomba serikali atupee ulinzi vizuri. Juu ukifika usiku huwezi pita hapa saa 2 kuendelea hapo juu. Ukifika saa 2 unanyang'anywa mabike. Ukifika saa 2 unanyang'anywa pesa.
Tukaamua tuite wale wanaohusika kuangalia, kaita timu ya bomb disposal na timu ya ATPU from Migori. Walipokuja wakaona na kuweka mikakati yao vile wanaelewa, wakapata kwamba ilikuwa vilipusi zimewekwa chini kando ya bridge, na wameweza kusitoa kwa utaratibu na imeisha salama. Hakuna mtu ameumia.
In other news, Kenyans are increasingly opting for financing of smartphones for running their businesses online or staying connected with loved ones. Asset financier Mogo says it has financed over 100,000 smartphones in the last 4 months due to high demand for affordable devices. Mogo Kenya head of sales and device financing Fred Moore says the company works with Buddha chairpersons to offer financial literacy training on responsible borrowing to help customers understand loan obligations and manage their finances sustainably.
Having the fastest customer onboarding process has given us leverage in terms of customers refer other customers due to the fast issuance of the loan when the customer is purchasing it. We also get dealers who prefer this because there is no human interaction when the customer is making a purchase.
Journalists have been trained on reporting money laundering and financial crime after the placement of Kenya on the Financial Action Task Force grey list in February 2024. Speaking during the training, Emily Mochama, co-founder of Diligence Advisory Africa, warned that grey listing can reduce foreign direct investments by 3% of the GDP. The training, organized by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, focused on money laundering, anti-money laundering practices, and the implications of grey listing.
Unlike other institutions such as the financial institutions, we have the accountants, we have the lawyers who are now coming up with their act. We don't have one act that is governing the journalists in terms of their reporting, just to ensure that they are protected. While we have the Media Council of Kenya in place, I believe there is more improvement to be done in terms of the safety of reporting, especially when it comes to investigative reporting, and also have the political goodwill to have all these investigated to the very end and see the fruits of their hard work in terms of investigations, in terms of ethical reporting, and how do we combine efforts to ensure that we are working towards a common goal, which is even getting Kenya out of the grey list.
Also, we've done the AML governance and coordination led by the working group that is chaired by to coordinate AML-related activities. We're closing events. I know you have stories.
And on sports news, Kenya's under-17 girls beach handball team has sent a strong warning to ACT rival Senegal ahead of a potential rematch in the final of the 2025 African Youth Games in Luanda, Angola.
On Monday, narrowly losing to Senegal in shootouts after the match ended one set apiece in regulation time. Senegal took the contest 9-8 in the shootout, having dominated the opening set 14-3, before Kenya bounced back emphatically to claim the second set 18-10.
Wasichana wameona vile kuko na tumeona strength zao na tumeona pia weakness zao. So kitu ambacho tuenda wakon kwa strength zao. Tujue vile tutazitackle. Kwa weakness zao nadhani tutacapitalize. Ndani kama first half umeona ilikuwa kila tukifunga bao refa anasema player yetu amelanda na D ama amewalk ama amefanya nini, so hizo mistake tuenda zirekebisha ndio tukikutana nao next time tuwapige vizuri sana.
Game leo imekuwa seti ya kwanza wametushinda, lakini ya pili tukawashinda. Tumeenda shootout, wametushinda tu na point moja, lakini naamini hiyo finali tutakutana na wao tena tutawapiga.
Despite the loss, the Kenyan camp remains confident of turning the tables should the two sides meet again in Wednesday's final.
Kulingana vile tulisafiri na tukajipanga na au kwa sababu last time tulicheza nao tukashinda kwanza, wakashinda ya pili tukaenda draw. This time wamefanya, so chances zetu kesho tukishinda Togo cheza na number 3. Number 3 anaweza kuwa Angola, alafu tuende finals.
Meanwhile, Kenya's ambassador to Angola, Joyce Asimwa, has lauded Team Kenya's performance at the games, describing the athletes as the country's future sporting stars.
I was fortunate enough to join in the team that was doing the beach handball and beach volleyball and briefly the swimming. And of course now the medal tally tells you the potential that there is. These are young athletes coming into the sports and they're doing this well. Under quite difficult conditions because the temperature here is a bit different from what many will be used to. But we're really proud of the efforts that the young ones have put in, and we're praying that it gives them more confidence. And I'm sure by the time we get to the next games, we will have a very formidable showing from these young athletes.
She noted that the competition offers vital preparations ahead of major global events, including the 2026 Youth Olympics in Dakar and the 2027 Commonwealth Youth Games.
Despite losing to Senegal in penalty shootout, the Kenya Beach Handball Junior team is optimistic that they will register stellar performance against Togo in order to go through to the semi-finals. Reporting from Atlantic Ocean in Angola, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
That brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you for watching. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in